Riding through the city, one to the dome. Life getting heavy, so I gotta live strong. Everybody calling, I ain't picking up my phone. Man, I need a day just to get away. Pouring up my cup, trying to drink it all away. Worried about tomorrow, steady living for the day. Thinking about this money, how to spend it all day. Man, I need some space just to get away.
Hey ladies, it's Saturday night and you know what that means. You want to get away. Single Moms Lifestyle presents the Saturday Night Getaway.
Hello.
Hey.
Well, I feel like I was caught off guard. Like, that's what I felt. Hello. Hey, everybody. Oh, help me on today, Jesus. Yeah, I gotta pray for me. So I'm having we've been having some technical difficulties, and it's all right. We're just gonna, it's all right. It's all right. We're going to keep trying to get through this. I do apologize for the issues. And I'm going to keep trying tonight. You might hear a little ding-a-ding, but try to ignore it. Hey, I am your host, Queen G. You are now tuned into Single Moms to Wives Saturday Night Getaway. And of course, I'm sitting here with my co-host, Simply Lorraine.
Hey, y'all.
Whoop, whoop. Look, my intro was so off. Yeah, pray for me, okay?
We're going to make it through this. We got this.
We're going to get through this, y'all.
Without cameras. It's all right. We got a picture up there. It'd be all okay.
Listen, either way, if you don't get to see this beautiful face, then I'm going to need you to just work with the pictures. That's even better.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, something's going on with the camera, and I'm out. See what I'm saying? But anyhow, it's all good. So welcome everybody. If it's your first time tuning in, of course, like I said, you're tuned into Single Moms to Wives Saturday Night Getaway. And if you are returning, thank you. We appreciate y'all so much. I want to wish everyone in the month of August a happy birthday. But I have some really, really dope birthdays in August. One being my awesome and amazing and wonderful matriarch, Gleneva Sims, my granny. And my oldest son, Edrin, is the 24th. And then we have Princey Pooh birthday, which he just turned 3. And then we have Aunt Merlin. So happy birthday to everybody that I know that has a birthday in the month of August. Simply Ray, what you got?
I got my niece Akila and my nephew Devon's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I think I seen that. Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Whoop, whoop. How old did he turn?
He's the big quarter baby. He hit his quarter birthday.
Oh, wow. That's a good birthday. That's a good birthday.
He grown now.
He grown.
Yeah, he grown now. Yeah,
no
he grown
back.
Well,
happy birthday, everybody. And we are coming towards vastly approaching the end of the month. Woo. Man. It went by really quick. Is it just me?
No.
Yeah, it went by super duper quick. Like, help us, Jesus. And now we got my beautiful, wonderful, amazing mother, Arnita. Birthday is coming up. So we got to get ready for that. That's just right around the corner. But she's next month, so we'll talk about it next month, Mama. How your week been, boo?
It has been good. It has been a very blessed week.
That's what's up. What's up. What you been doing?
Just working and handling other business, personal stuff. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all know mine, it's never a dull moment in my life. Jesus. So we've had a busy.
Hmm.
It's been a lot of not, you know what, not really bad sickness, but we've been hit here and there a little bit, but it's all right. We shook it off. I shook it off, and Susu, he up then one the minute, and then he down the next, and then he up. But you know, it's all right. We were back in the ER yesterday.
How's Susu doing?
That was great today.
Well, that's good.
So
He
I
bounced. That's all that matters.
listen. It's like I don't know, but it's the whole. You just got to go through the process of the viruses. So not COVID. We've been COVID negative, but what people don't realize is it is other viruses out, and it is the season. So he's just going through the process.
Why did you just say that like that? Like, not the COVID. Like,
Yeah, because
it's
people
okay.
don't.
Well, because everybody be tripping on it, and at the end of the day, it's running around hitting people like the flu. It is what it is. Ain't nothing we can do about it.
Right, but I think a lot of people forget that there's other illnesses in the world.
Yeah.
You know, if right now it's like it don't matter, honey. You can have a sugar, you can have anything, and if it ain't
Yeah.
COVID, you know what I'm saying? You're fine. So,
All right.
but anyway, yeah, not that. But yeah, he's gonna be all right. We're just gonna continue to process and get through it. So we have been in. Well, I want to say, I don't know, because everybody starts differently. But we're what 3 weeks in of school starting back, and it looks like everything's going well with all the kiddos. So it's good to see. Brandon's off to a bipolar start. So he loves it, but then he's like, I'm ready to come home. And then he's like, I might be all right. Then he's like, I don't like it. So I said, Child, can we get through the first week?
He's adjusting. He's adjusting.
That's what I said. I said, it's just an adjustment. You're gonna be fine. So
Yeah.
he'll be out tomorrow. I'm gonna cook him dinner and his roommate, and we'll get to chop it up. I haven't seen him since I took him to school.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
Yes.
Because I think Lyric's first week, I was back at her school bringing her home. And her. So, you know what? Check in on me. I'm fine. It's not me this time. It's not me. It's this little baby. It ain't me. I'm fine. I'm living my best life. So
Don't do little baby.
yeah, I know I was struggling with the whole empty nester thing, and then I got Susu, and God reminded me. He like, and then the baby gets sick. All my grandkids get sick on my watch, and I'm talking about sick. And the diapers and the throwing up and all of that. And God was like, yeah, you remember you did all this? And I'm like, you sure right. I did. And I'm done. So
No, they with you because that's where the best kids don't be while they're sick.
listen, but I earned my right to not have to deal with no more sick babies. So the good news is that mommy's on the way, and I'm happy, and Sue's happy, and we're ready for her. So, but yeah, so I'm doing good. My empty nester syndrome is good. Hey, Deanne. Hey, baby. He at school and don't know what to do. He's like 40 minutes away. He's up the street. He's like, I need to come home. I don't like it. So he'll be all right. He gonna live. He like the parties. I tell you that. He likes the parties.
Okay.
So yeah, but he gonna be all right. So tonight's hot topic: So we were having a conversation. I don't even know if you remember the conversation. Deanne, I
Look,
know. Right?
days be blurring together, but I might and I might not.
We were having a conversation and you said something, and I think I was actually getting ready to hang up, and it caught me and it held on to me for till now, till to now. It
Okay.
had to be, I want to say, a good two weeks or more ago.
Yeah, I think that conversation was about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, and
Mhm.
you literally just very simply said, you know, I don't know my place. And I was like, wow. So for everybody that don't really understand Simply Lorraine, that's the kind of stuff she does, bombs she drops. When she speaks, she's definitely not a talker like me, but when she speaks, she says stuff like that. And we were talking about relationships, and we were just talking about, you know,
I
just
think we were
taking ourselves as women, you know what I mean? And
I think we were talking about just relationships and parenting, and something came up and we were talking about something, and I was like, because they don't know their place. Like
right,
sometimes
right.
we just don't know our place.
We don't know our place. And so that's what tonight's hot topic is. I don't know my place. Um, and it's funny because you would hear people say, use that in reverse, like stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Stay in a child's place. You know what I mean? Stay in a woman's place, a man's job. But I really wanted to just kind of talk about that and just kind of dissect this thing tonight. And if you guys are watching, please click like and share. Share,
Yeah.
share for us, please. Share, share, share. I was in the process of sharing myself and I didn't get a chance to. So I'm sharing too. Share. Um, because this is something that I think across the board needs to be addressed. And of course, if you saw the message and just the description of the show, I used it in reference to men and women. Um, we can even go back to Simply Lorraine, which I want you to help me and help the people.
Hmm.
The beginning of time when Adam and Eve was created, and then the fall of man, and then you know what Adam was called to do. So help us on tonight.
Well, when we talk about knowing our place since the beginning of time, male and female have had a place. A
Mm-hmm,
woman is the helpmate, the male is the head.
mm-hmm.
And if we understand those roles is to me it would be kind of like, how did my grandma used to say it? It's kind of like the woman is the backbone, but the male is the head. And the head can't move without the neck.
I like that. I like that. I like that. So it's it's interesting to me to see how today's society has evolved, for lack of better words, evolved to such a place where you have the independent women, the independent woman, you have the single mothers, you have single fathers, you know what I mean, that have definitely had to play the position of the other person. um,
Hmm.
and I wanted to talk about it because I feel like God is just calling us to all get in alignment, you know what I mean, and get in our take our rightful positions. Um, and when I looked at that and just literally analyzing my own life, my own self, it's deep for me. I had to go back to that conversation 3 weeks ago and be like, man, I don't know my place. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I've been mother and I've been, father. You know what I'm saying? I've been even as a grandmother, you know what I mean? I've played so many different positions. I've been counselor, I've been nurse, and I think a lot of mothers can relate to this. You know what I mean? You've been the preacher, you've been the doctor, you've been the counselor, you didn't been, you know what I mean? You've been the father, you've been everything. And when it comes to doing a lot of things that, you know, we are raised and taught that men should do, it's really hard, for me going from, hence the name of the show, single mom to wife. It's hard for me to hand those things over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's easy to lose your place. And knowing for more years than I have been married, I've had to play so many positions. And I think we've talked about this before when we had Pastor Kaysen on. How you have to know how to balance, you have to know how to, shift. But
Mm-hmm.
then you have it where in society, and again, I'm just speaking, just generalized. There are some women that don't want to, they don't want to relinquish, that they're those positions that they were not called to, for the best way I could say that. And then there are men that don't want to pick them back up. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm seeing this, and especially in our younger generation. Good God, are they confused?
Poor babies. Lord bless them.
They're so confused.
No, when I say that, I mean that. Today, I literally cried and prayed for my
Really?
son's generation. Yes. Yes, ma'am, I did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Because,
again, not all, but I think that it is, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's why it's imperative for us to literally find our place again.
Mm-hmm.
You have men comfortable, comfortable women, mothers, daughters, if you're watching, help me on today. Comfortable watching women, I mean, go hard in the paint
Yeah, but I
and
tell you, I agree.
sit right there on the couch and watch her take out the trash. We'll sit right there and watch her. And I can attest to this, just in a really close to home, situation with, again, younger generation, and just watching young mothers, and we've been there, just work really hard to take care of their babies. And these young men are okay with it, even to the point where it's like, take care of my child, and while you at it, can you send me something too? Like, that kind of out of line. You know what I mean? I'm not going to help you take care of them, but while you're taking care of them by yourself, save a little something for me too. I'm like, what?
I really think that comes from them, how can I say it politely, coming from a generation where they were dealing with single parents, whether it was male or female.
Mm-hmm.
They seen it, like, let's say it's young man in the house with a woman. They seen mom do all of that. So we don't know psychologically how they're looking at this when they go outside of the home and they're in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
with somebody, and watching her do what mom did, that was okay, because like it or not, because that was the environment they were raised in, that's their norm.
So
it be
that's the
normal? But
thing.
it's normal.
Right.
But
So that's the thing. The
you can't.
norm.
Yeah, you can't, and it's not technically normal, but you can't control how somebody perceives a thing, how they understand it in their own mind.
Okay, so that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We know that that we are the help me. We know that.
Mhm.
We also know that we were not called to go hunt it, kill it, drag it back, cook it. Okay, so we might want to drag it back and clean it and then cook it. We're going to drag it back,
All right
clean
now.
it, cook it, serve it, and then cook it. I mean, clean again. That's too
Mhm.
much. Do you understand the weight?
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is I would love to see, women strong-willed and strong-minded, such as myself, my mother, my grandmother, my sisters, and you, and I could go on and on and on, not just status quo. I would love to see us feel comfortable enough to, because I don't think none of us want to carry that kind of weight. You know what I mean?
But
But
there's so you're saying for us to get to a point to where we feel comfortable handing it over?
feel comfortable in knowing that we can. You got to know that you can, first of all, because you can't just, you know what I mean? You got to know that you got a weightlifter. Look at me. Come on, baby.
Okay.
That. and cut. That's what the camera said.
Yes, it did. And cut. It said, no, you won't.
I'm crossing my legs. I'm like, look, come on. So
Look,
what I'm
let's
saying,
get comfortable now.
Look at AT on. Sonja. I'm calling you Sonja tonight. Sonja is on. AT. So yeah, I listen, God gave me that word. We have to know that we have some weightlifters. So that's the thing. I think that, just because we can carry it doesn't mean that we should. And I think that we have created this whole I'm a survivor, independent woman, thing. And I think that at some point maybe we've made the men feel like we don't need them.
That is a lie.
Listen,
that is a lie.
I'm struggling.
That is a lie.
Jesus. But and when I say I'm struggling, because I don't want to be offensive to anyone, but I do want to address this because I see it too often. And it's just like, sis, you tired, but why?
But what I've seen lately, just from people that I love on the outside looking in sometimes, even with myself and past experiences, we may pray for something, we may long for something, but are you ready for the blessing? Have you had the mind shift to maintain that blessing once you have it?
Right.
Whether it's male or female, you might get exactly what you asking for, but then you don't, like you said, we don't want to hand it over, whether it's him or her.
Right. And so I was watching Pastor, I believe, Jamila Gooden, and she and her husband, they do this coupling live thing, and she captured my attention, oh God, a while back. But then of course I turned into this busy bee as usual, and I just recently started back following her. And so her and her husband was talking the other night about, I love the same, pretty much in the same vein, but they were talking about the analogy that he used was amazing. And he was saying that he doesn't think that a lot of men realize they are the foundation
Come
and
on
we
now,
are the
talk to me.
beauty. And sometimes when men worry about being the beauty and not the foundation, that's when people in their places and positions get crossed. You know what I mean? And he was saying that even though it's all right to be strong, independent woman, you know what I mean? It's okay for women to come into a relationship with a foundation already. But then, the right man will see that even though you have a foundation, he'll see the cracks. Catch it, baby. He said that that man will still be able to find his position and place in your life and become the calcium that fills the cracks. Jesus.
Come on now. Come on now. Don't be playing with me today.
Okay, so I was going somewhere with that in
Yeah.
saying that the right man is still going to be able to find his place in your life and lift some weights. You understand what I'm saying? It's too many that's comfortable being out of place, not knowing their place. It's one thing to not know your place. It's another to know you're not in your right place and get comfortable in that and be comfortable in that. You know what I'm saying? I know this is what I should be doing, but I don't want to. And you know what? It's 2021. It's so many independent women out here. Nobody's going to notice. That's kind of how I feel. I see it in the younger men. It's just, even, let's just take, well, we're not going to take, because it's all relationships. Even in our son, come on, baby. They talking to us.
Come on. Well, okay. Mr. Russell Robertson said men are lacking responsibility of who they are. We forgot how to be respectful to women and raise boys into men. It takes a godly man to raise a godly family. Now, come on.
Woo, Russell.
Robinson.
Come on. Amen and amen and amen.
Oh, come on.
Thank you for
Because I
that.
sure had it sitting in front of me. I ain't even going to tell you no story.
Thank you for
I
that.
sure had it sitting in front of
He
me.
said we forgot to be respectful to women and to raise boys into men. It takes a godly man to raise a godly family. And I'm so glad you said that, Russell,
Yes,
because
sir.
I truly believe that is why it's important to maintain and have a relationship with God. And as men, I believe that is the order, because you were the first to be created. That is where you get your directives from. And this is me and my thought process, my perspective on it. Because we all know that we can read the same scripture, we could have the same word, and depending on which road of perspective you take it down, we might come out with something different. So this is my opinion, people, my perspective. But I believe that men get their directives from God, and then they are the ones that is what enables them to be able to lead, when their wives are submitting and following their leadership. And I feel like
I'm glad you said that.
Go ahead.
When you said when their wives are now, I'm not a wife yet, but when it says when we're submitting, whether it be in any relationship, whether it be with father and daughter, mother and daughter, like he just said, a godly man raises a godly family. I'll take that a little deeper. We're submitting to the God in you.
Yeah,
If
hey.
there's no God in you, I can't submit.
Jesus on today. Come on.
I can't do it. Me personally, I do.
Yes. That's it.
Because the fear, and that's any human being, because we're
Mhm.
all of his creation: children,
Mhm.
mama, auntie, grandma, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, distant cousins, people way overseas. We're all his creation.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's easy to submit and have a good relationship with some, because when you're connected to God, it's not so easy for you to do things that are harmful
Yeah.
to other people,
Mhm. And I just posted that.
mentally,
I literally,
emotionally.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not easy just to harm somebody in any
Mhm.
type of way,
Mhm.
when you, because like we were talking about this past week, like
Mhm.
we've lost the
People don't
fear of
fear
God.
God anymore.
People
Yeah.
don't fear God anymore. But when you
Yeah.
fear him in a way, as in, you know what, this person I might have an issue with, I might not talk to you no more. We might have a physical issue, whatever. But when your Abba Father deals with you, that's a whole nother ball game,
Yeah.
baby. You can't call your mama to come get you out of that.
You
You got to
cannot.
go through it. When he dealing with you and disciplining you, oh, you got to go through it.
And that's the thing, when I think of, you know, I really do believe we don't fear God anymore, not the way that we should. And if we did, there's a lot of things we would not do or say, or even be, for that matter. But I feel like that is the starting point in becoming more God conscious. It will actually put us back on the path of being in our rightful positions, in our rightful
Yeah.
places.
And when I say, I want to clear up something, and I
Mm-hmm.
think you feel this way too. When we say fear, we're not talking about scary movie fear, scared somebody gonna kill me, scared to go outside. We're talking
Right.
about a healthy fear, a fear like you would have as a kid, and your friends is finna run over and do something. Like, I'm not going over to do that because I know I'm gonna get a whooping.
Right.
I'm gonna go the other direction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
healthy fear. It's a fear that brings about obedience.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Obedience. And it's almost to the point where you think that, and again, being out of alignment, I feel like, when when people are not in their rightful positions, when men are not in play in the role of leadership, when they don't take ownership of being the head, and you have women that have is we're gonna make sure we make something shake regardless, then the art of understanding and respect, to me, is lost in the sauce, because everything is just out of alignment. It causes a lot of discord, because
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It's like, can you just imagine just a bunch of cars with no stop signs, no caution signs, no slow down, no yield? You understand? That's what I imagine right now with what I see is just a lot of chaos.
Mhm.
Russell made another comment. You want to read it?
So men need to submit to God so that we can submit to our other half. Men
Mm-hmm.
need to repair the relationship with God so we can learn and to repair the relationship with women. The responsibility is not just men, but the responsibility, it's on men and women to know who they
They
are
are.
in God
Yeah.
before they can know who they are to each other. Now, there we go.
Come
That
on.
right
Come on. Come
that
on.
right
Come
there,
on.
because
Come on.
you being whole in your independence, whether it's male or female,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with you being single, being independent, knowing what you do, like what you
Mm-hmm.
just being whole within yourself,
And
and not looking at a
yeah,
relationship as in this person can fix me or they're gonna come in and
that's
do this.
it.
If you ain't a whole, how two broken halves gonna come together and make a whole?
That's
Sorry,
it.
y'all have. Two broken halves make a half. You know what I'm saying? If
Right.
half of your stuff is missing and you come together with somebody else, it doesn't make a whole.
And I really wish tonight, of course, y'all, stuff is happening left and right. So our people is still with us, but everybody is going through something or healing right now. And so it's just us, but that's all right. And y'all, we got y'all. Thank y'all for being here with us. But I'm struggling because I'm not concerned. I want to talk about it, and I'm not concerned so much with the man's business as much as I am my business. I know that, when my husband and I, we bump heads for whatever reason, I instantly start working on me. God, help me to see me the way you see me. Help me to see me the way he sees me. Because it's more important, which is how I stumbled upon Jamila. Like, I'm always seeking, I'm always learning. You know what I mean? And what God just placed in my heart recently is know your place. Don't worry about his place, but know your place. And
As
if
you
you
like
know
to say,
your place and mind your business,
your business.
it's gonna be all right. Like you said, I got mine. You know what I'm saying? You better get yours, but I got mine. So it was one of those things where if y'all hear me stumbling, because I feel like men, y'all can speak for yourself. And Russell, you are on it tonight. Thank you. Y'all please like and share.
Thank you.
If you get a chance, please like and share. We want to start spreading this page and this news and the topics of real life, issues that's happening in our homes. Sandra has a comment. If a young man sees his dad or male figure disrespect mom or girlfriend or anybody, then growing up, he or she will not respect anyone. This is what we're dealing with in our community in 2021. Absolutely. And so again, and I agree with that. We're seeing men, these young men and boys, they're seeing, first of all, not only the men being disrespectful to the women, but the women being disrespectful to the
Come
men.
on, there we go.
And one thing y'all know is I try with respect to all persons to be as transparent as I can. And in life, in teaching my children, and even now being on the show, I try to use myself as an example. So I'm going to use myself as an example because I give myself permission. I don't need to sign no waivers to do so. I've done that. You know what I mean? I've been that woman that has been mouthy and very disrespectful. My mouth, good God. Pray for me, y'all. He ain't doing
Yeah, me too. As you say, I felt that in my shanana.
in my shanana, Keita B.
Lord have mercy.
We felt that in our shanana. Hey, God. But listen, it's the mouth for me, period. And I remember when the girls were younger and them were younger, I remember, you know how you be walking and passing and your kids is playing or you think they playing, but girl, I heard them girls' mouths and Ed being the oldest, but he's not the biggest, but he's the oldest. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't even remember who it was, honey. Somebody was popping they gums. Do you hear me? I was like, whoa. It bothered me because, first of all, now I'm able to look at this thing from a whole different, point of view. I'm not in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to see it. Let me just rephrase that. It's not on me. So I was able to see it. And I'm like, and I went in and I had to check them. I said, let me tell you something. Don't you ever talk to my son or anybody's son like that ever again. Now, remind y'all, they got it from me. You know what I'm saying? They got it from me. Oh, baby,
Yeah.
the head and the neck was popping. And I'm just like, and I had to let my son, because I knew my son is going to grow up to be a man. I don't want him to think that is acceptable behavior from a woman. So I had to check my daughters, because you will be a woman one day. That's not acceptable behavior from a woman to a man. I'm going to tell you again, God's still working with me on that. Okay. But the thing about being a good parent, a great parent, is that we teach our children to be better than. My goal is always to raise my kids to be better than me. So I had to, at that point, even though, and again, if you don't know my story, I was a teen mom. So me and my kids really grew up together. And so while I knew God had to work on me with that, it did something when I seen it on my babies at a really young age, like, ugh. And so Sandra Edwards, absolutely, Auntie. That's exactly what's happening. And then you have kids that will go one way or the other. There are some that will say, I seen my mom and my dad go through that. I don't want to be like that. And then you have some that says, well, that's how my daddy did it. You know what I mean? That's how my daddy did it. That's how my mama did it. That's what I'm gonna do. And that to me is also the biggest issue, because we don't have enough of either sex correcting them when they see it happening. You know what I mean? It's not funny. It's not cute. Whichever sex it is, there is a proper position and proper place for everybody, by God's design, not by my opinion on this show, by God's design. And my thing is that, study to show thyself approved. It's written. If you don't know, it's written. But I think we really need to get back to that and start back putting things in alignment, because it's scary to see how we're just a bunch of cars on the roads. You know what I mean? With no kind of
direction
measure. There's no lights, there's no yield, there's no stop signs. You know what I mean? Everybody's just on go. And I said it earlier, the craziest thing, I said, COVID was so much bigger than a virus. You know what I'm saying? We had to literally pause for the cause and reevaluate how we have been living this life, how we treat people. It was so much bigger. That's all I'm gonna say about COVID, because it don't get no more than 5 minutes fame. But
well, Mr. Russell,
bigger than that. Go ahead.
Mr. Russell said, if we don't know how to love ourselves, how are we going to be able to love somebody else? How are we going to have somebody to love us if we don't know how to love ourselves?
Mr. Russell, come on, Jesus.
Yeah. So in that,
absolutely start
that if you have those self-value though, but guess what? And I think regardless of your age, we're all growing up in a time, in a day and age when you really, for me, I can't get my value from the world. It has to come from God.
Yeah.
And when you have your value from your creator, you kind of move a little different.
You move different.
It might not be the most popular way as far as the world would consider it, but you might move a little different. No, you're not better than anybody else, because God is no respect of persons, meaning you can be rich, you can be poor. It don't matter. Girl, boy, black, white, Chinese, it don't matter. I'm no more important than any other human being he has created.
Yeah.
And then also, as I have to say, in us knowing our place, I thought this hit me the other day. Everything that God has created operates in its purpose, except for human beings who he gave free will.
Ooh.
The trees grow, the birds fly, the plants are beautiful.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Everything else, the stars stay in the sky. They just falling out when they decide to. It's only human beings that he has given the decision to, if they want to accept him or
It
not.
will. Right.
It's
And
not.
baby, listen, we've been running amok for too long. We've been running amok. Just running amok. We
Like,
been out here.
seriously, it's only us that he has given power and dominion over everything here. That he's decide, I'm gonna do what I want to, when I want to, how I want to, and it don't have to benefit anybody else other than myself.
And talk about abuse of power.
Baby, listen. Come on.
Abuse of power. And
Yes.
that's just the thing. Honey, Russell, I gotta come back to that. Start with loving yourself. A lot of what we see when it comes to not knowing your place, you gotta know, like you said, whose you are. Women, do you know how dope it is to be the daughter? I mean, not that sons ain't all that, but the daughter of a king? Baby, you can't tell me I ain't all that in a bag of chips. Listen, my daddy is a king. My daddy is a king.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how much fathers adore their daughters? And I can't remember the exact time and moment that it hit me, but I remember the feeling like it was just now, yesterday, just yesterday. It's amazing. So when you know whose you are, it's all right. Can't nobody steal your shine. It's all right to let him be who he's been created to be, because we have been purposed, you understand, and designed specifically, like you said. I'm sorry, we've been designed and created specifically for our purpose, our own individual purpose. But going back to the beginning, God saw fit for men to have a helpmeet. That's it. So we're designed to work together, but it's an imbalance that's going on. And I think this imbalance with man and woman and people not knowing their place. I am a grandmother. It is an honor to be. It's grand is in front of it. Done my due diligence is what it means. The first time I did my due diligence, the first time. Do you hear me? Honey, these little babies be thinking somebody want their children. Listen, now with King, I ain't gonna lie. It was my first one. You know, it was hard on the pimp. But now that Brandon has graduated, and those days that the girls get susu, and it's just me, myself, and I, and my other I, and my other baby. Listen, if I gotta run out the room and not grab a robe, I'm cool. I'm cool. I earned that. You understand?
I told you.
I earned that. I get it now. I am a grandmother. That's it. I'm not the mama. I'm not the pappy. I'm the grandmother. That is my place. I understand. I get that. I'm cool with it. I know you got your fur babies. You know what I'm saying? They're your fur grandbabies. They can only visit. You need to send them back. You know
they can only stay so long. Every last one of them. They don't. We all three of them. We have a different understanding. Yes, we all have a separate understanding. Look, that is not what we do here.
You gotta know your place. You know what I mean? I've seen Russell, you made another awesome comment. He said, we got to go back to courting each other, to know each other, to be better with each other, to live life better for our children and for our society. And I absolutely agree with that. We get so caught up in, and I've actually been guilty of this. You know what I mean? And especially like it's in the beginning of a new marriage, you worried about who the other person ain't being. You ain't being. You know what I'm saying? Just you not being this. You're not doing this. You're not being this. You're not doing this. And at the end of the day, I promise you, probably 2 years straight, God dropped in my spirit, mind your business. And I'm like, how? I'm sorry, God. Are we not one? Are we one or are we not one? This is how I'm talking to my daddy. I'm like, are we one or are we not one? What we doing? He said, mind your business. I'm like, this ain't, this ain't Shaniqua across the street. This is my husband. He kept saying, mind your business.
Yes,
because,
ma'am.
I
don't think
how irritated I was. I
would have loved to have been a fly on the wall.
I was so irritated. Quit telling me that.
Well, because I was in Bible study years ago, and we were talking about relationships, family, people were married, people who had kids, and it's like they're not. Say you are the head of the household, the head of the family, even as the father, just understanding that, yes, this is your wife, these are your children, but first and foremost, understand that they belong to God first.
Yeah.
Have a relationship with these people. They just because they came from you don't mean they belong to you.
Right.
Not in the you can, whether it's mother, whether it's wife, whether it's
that's where I was going.
Father, no matter who it is, you don't have the right to feel like you can just
see. That's where I was going.
Deal with them any type of way.
I figured that out with the grown kids. So the mind your business, it went across the board for me. I didn't realize how nosy I really was. I was nosy, y'all. Yes. I didn't realize how nosy I was. And to my defense, I have just such a nurturing, protective spirit over the people that I love. You know what I mean? I didn't know when to let go. I didn't know when to take my hands off of it so God could take it. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you this, being hard-headed, something I used to not really care about being, but I do now.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Hard-headed.
Yeah, now.
It created unnecessary friction and discord, in some of these relationships with my children, with my grandchildren's parents and mothers, and you know what I mean? And even in my marriage, it just started to create discord for no other reason than not realizing that I needed to mind my business. I needed to take heed to mind your business. And so it's even harder when it comes to your children. It's even harder when it comes to your spouse, because I'm telling God, this is my husband. Like, he don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you talking about?
You know what I mean? But see, I don't think some people understand that you can have like we sitting here conversing, you can talk to God that way.
Yeah.
Now, be respectful.
Oh, I absolutely. But
at the same time, you can have an open conversation with him.
And he knows. He know you. Listen, I'm the one that I'm the one he like this every day. Like, Lord. He do me like not her again. We gonna do this again today. Okay, so he know me. Well, Jacoby, you know me. He know me. So of those things where I had to realize being hard-headed, it caused way more hardship and discord in my family than to take heed to that and just let go. And then being able to put things, and I'm gonna tell y'all, be honest, I'm still in the process of putting things in their proper perspective, prioritizing my family, my life. And as crazy as it sounds, even being married, Russell, I love that you said that. We absolutely are, we're continuing to grow as individuals. And so individually, you know what I mean? We've grown, and then collectively, I got to get to reintroduce myself. You understand what I'm saying?
Say that.
You need to reintroduce yourself, because 2, 3, 4 years ago, Lady Shaw just posted, I apologize to anybody that I mishandled, you know what I mean, during, and I don't quote me on this, during a season of immaturity for me. And that, that hit.
I shared it too.
That was another in your time. That hit. Because I know that that's been me. There was a time 2, 3 years ago, and I may not have to go back that far, where I had not matured to a place that I am now. And so I need to let my husband know that was her. But hello, sir. How are you? This is me now.
Mm-hmm.
And even my children and my grandchildren's, parents, their mothers, that was me then. You have to constantly reintroduce yourself. So Russell, you're absolutely right when you say we have to be intentional about not just dating, in courtship with relationships, but also maintenance of all of the relationships, and just doing that check-in, that tune-up, and making sure that we understand, especially those that of us, the parents, the elders, the mothers, the fathers, we have an obligation to lead by example for these babies, for these children, for our young lives. If they don't see structure and stability in our relationship as man and woman, then we can't be mad when, little Bobo is running around with Tamika and Sheikah and Tammy and them, and little Bobo got 2 kids by her, 3 kids by her. What have they seen? Like Sandra said, what have they seen? And at some point, we got to be accountable. It's just that simple, because we are their blueprint. It is what it is. We're their blueprint. And that's what concerns me about, do you really know your place? Do you really know your position?
Do you really understand that there are lives connected to you? It's not just about you.
Yeah.
And it will be a snowball effect. So when you 20, 30 years down the road, you get to look at some of the effect of your choices through your bloodline.
Yeah. And it's so many young ladies, young girls, we are responsible for developing into young ladies, young women. And it's the saddest thing, because baby, I would not make half of y'all nobody's war, let alone wife. You understand? They ain't even ready for the war. And no fault of their own to a certain extent, you know what I mean? But I think that we could do a little bit more in showing them, again, infinite choice. Like you said, we're the only, being that God created, and he allows infinite choice. So you could have raised your child in a family with mother and father, they've been together since they was born, 30 years, 40 years, and they still go out and do everything and make choices like you have not. So let me not say, I'm not making this statement saying that that is the case, always the case.
Yes.
There are those that they know better. And for those that have seen it done and you know better, we're asking you to choose better, because again, I believe, the survival of mankind, men and women, it is going to get the root of it is knowing your place, knowing your position. I need God, our young men our men to please see COVID ain't got nothing on the mandemic, the male-demic that we're having. There's so much lack and laziness and irresponsibility and immaturity in the minds that it is almost driving young Black men crazy, insane, because they are so, they don't know. That's the crazy thing. Something else God been putting in my spirit lately. You can't be mad at people for what they do not know.
There we go.
They don't know. So the question then is, why don't they know? And then after the why, what is the solution? And it's, again, our leaders. We need way more leaders. We need way more leaders than likes on Facebook. We need leaders. Social media got enough likes. We need leaders. And I'm talking to every male on the planet Earth. We need leaders. We need heads. Because I'm all for following you, baby. But you ain't lead. You gotta be leading me somewhere. Where you taking me? This is the question.
I think I would say over time that the role of the male has become very distorted of no fault of their own. I think it's been strategically planned out by the enemy.
Oh, we know that. We
Yeah,
know
most
that.
definitely. Ain't no think. Yeah.
We know that.
And it's just knowing why, again, getting back to knowing why we were designed, knowing why you need to, knowing why you need to be connected to your father, to your source.
Yeah.
And understanding that when you out here living life how you want to live it, and let me say, you don't have no clarity and you a little cloudy, regardless of what it is you're doing. Baby, listen, when you get some clarity,
yeah,
and it clear up, the skies get blue on you, then you have to go through the effects of your choices. Even though mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you're a new being, you're a new creature, but the effects haven't, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna switch overnight.
Yeah.
It will not switch overnight for you.
Yeah.
It's understanding that I'm going through this because this, and this. It's not a go ahead.
So I still need some clarity, a little bit more clarity. If we have any more men watching, Russell, if you could chime in, y'all please click like and share, because I really want to make this a community conversation.
Yes, because I would call it has gotten to a point to where masculinity, as they would say it, toxic masculinity, but they're masculine because they're a man. It just is. So I would say, just from my understanding, there is no more reason to be puffed up in that, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it is.
And so my question is, if we had to, what we do know is that every household has their own level of comfortability and normalcy. So when it comes to what as the old elderly say, but the wise say, let me say that because I was going to say the wrong thing. As the wise people say, as for me and my
The
house.
house. Yeah.
So when it comes to that, oh God, and I don't know how many times I've had this conversation. What can we use as a standard? Like just a standard. You can build off of standards, you know what I'm saying? But just something basic that you would say, and this is a question to the men that are watching.
Mm-hmm.
This is what men do. And to the ladies, women, I'm gonna also pose the question to you. Y'all chime in anytime. Please help us. This is what women do. I need some clarity on that. And when I tell y'all NTED, I need some clarity on it. Because again, if we go back to the word is the word, but the word can be, depending on who's giving it, manipulated so many times to suit the deliverer.
Man, listen.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want that. I just really want, what is in general, in your opinion, with women that are working 2 and 3 jobs, women that are getting off of one job, going to another, coming home, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, doing homework, ironing, you know what I mean? Serving you, twice, serving you and serving you. So, and then, she has a man that is sitting in front of the TV playing a video game all day. And he knows she just worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs, came home, cooked, did the laundry, took care of the kids. You know what I'm saying? Where is what's the standard? Because some people would say, but at least he's home. You know what I'm saying?
I would say, why is she accepting that?
Okay.
Sometimes we put ourselves in a boat because we just accepting something. Listen.
So what makes it unacceptable?
What makes it unacceptable is if you running yourself in the ground.
Not a man sitting in front of the
TV playing a game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so
now are we talking about this in the context of a husband, or is this just a relationship? Because
this is just male and female. And
because
general.
That comes back for me. That comes back to value, honey. I don't care how hard you're working, but like we say, as the wise used to say, I can do bad all by myself. So again, learning not just to needing to fill space and time, just to have somebody there. Where's the value that he or she is bringing to your life and what you're going through? It does. I mean, you know what I'm saying? How the right one gonna come along to date her? Whether it be he or she, if it's who you keep holding on to for the next 5 years, the right one might be right outside at the hypothetically speaking at the curb, but they can't come close enough because
somebody taking up that space.
You feel it you feel in the space.
So then now, let me give you another scenario. You have a mother that has raised all of her children. They may not have had everything they wanted, but they had everything they wanted and needed. And this mother, like me, earned the right to fly free. Grown, grown, and I'm being hypothetical, y'all. I'm just giving a scenario. Just to kind of look at this thing, get just painting a picture. So you have a mother that she works, 3 jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and her, 30-year-old son is living with her. He won't keep the house up. He won't take the trash out. He won't work a job because he wants to be, a professional gamer. What's wrong with that picture? The mom is working 3 jobs. She's not married. She is paying the car note, house note, car note, all of that. He drives the mom's car. He's 30 years old. He don't want to work. He's at home living with his mom. He won't even keep the house up. If the sink stopped up, he won't unclog it. He wants to literally, he can work, nothing physically wrong.
I like what Mr. Russell said. That's the umbilical cord and sit back here packing.
But where's he gonna go? The mama? The mama don't want to put him out and see him home.
But that's again, some of the situations we be in, we holding on to this. Like, I mean, as they say now, get it how you live. Like, they gonna have to figure it out. It's one thing in helping somebody, it's another in hindering.
Okay. Now I gotta give the men something.
Come on now.
So men, you work, great job, and I'm gonna make this more of a marital thing. You work, you got a great job. And you believe in taking care of your family. You pay all the bills, the necessities of your family is met. You and your wife go out to dinner, and your kids, you got the tab, all of the above. But bump, your wife is sitting at home in hip hop Atlanta, watching Housewives of Orange Beach. She ain't cooked you nothing. She ain't ain't washed a pair of drawers. This is what she does day in and day out. She's not building. She's not working. She's not doing anything to be your helpmeet. When you get off work, men, you're coming in and you're helping the kids do their homework. You're coming in and you're starting the laundry. You're coming in and you're doing dinner. You're preparing dinner. Meanwhile, she's still in the cat on with a bonnet on the couch. And now it's time for Housewives. And this is every day. Every day, day in and day out. She has nothing else. That's her job. TV.
That really done got really silent.
I can't hear you. Look, it's because of our viewers. They're like, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody I know living
yeah.
their life. The point is we're this is happening in real life in somebody's household. It's really happening in somebody's household. And Russell, you're absolutely right. We need to cut the umbilical cord. We need to cut the cords. But where is the balance? You have a husband that is doing pretty much everything. You know what I mean? All he needs is a woman that understands her position as a helpmeet. Understands that whatever he brings in, she's been called to be a Proverbs 31 woman and multiply that. She's been called to do that. But he understands that his job is to go in, lay the foundation. be the foundation. He's not the windows. He's not the pretty door. He's not the chandelier. He's not the beauty. He understands that he's the foundation. She understands that she is the beauty, and everybody's position is important. That's the thing. Everybody has an important position.
I'm so glad that Russell said it. It boils down to this. It goes back to being a godly man with a godly woman, having godly values, having a godly understanding of who we are to each other, to build each other, to love each other, to encourage each other, to strengthen each other, to build that relationship with each other.
Exactly. And again, that's the root of it all. Without a relationship with who created you, you will literally not know how you are meant to operate. Thank you, Russell. Bottom line.
Yes. Yes.
And listen, one thing y'all need to understand, we are sinners saved by grace on this show. So
amen. Because listen,
this ain't that. But there, again, for in every season, we are called for such a time as this to really look at our position and our places in society. I have heard cousins and brothers and uncles, just single people, just really like, is it any good women out here? I'm a hardworking brother. You know what I mean? I believe in chivalry. I believe in taking care of my woman like she won't have to work for nothing. But I keep meeting these women that want to sit on the couch instead of pick up a brick and help me build. I keep meeting these women that the mindset, the immaturity, I can't get them to, you know what I mean? Wake up.
We have a lot of times I don't even want to say, are we taking the time to get to know somebody?
Right. But again, I believe that the order is a man that finds himself a wife, finds himself a good thing. With TikTok and WeWalk and all these other different places, christianmeet.com, and you know what I mean, people are going above what God is literally already designed and created. And mind your business. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for me to say that because I got a husband. You know what I'm saying? Because I probably will be on TikTok and WeWalk and all of them too. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is understanding that if you focus on what your purpose and your calling is, that man or that woman that is designed for you will find you. I think also we're finding a lot of people that we haven't been called to, and they ain't been called to our life. We call them. Stop calling people. You know what I'm saying? Stop calling people.
Yes, ma'am. That is again. When you're just open and honest and the truthful about the thing, what does it keep bringing you back to? The first foundation, the way it was designed.
Yeah.
God, your creator. If you're in tune with him and you allow him to show you somebody's spirit, as we call nowadays, it's a vibe. It's energy.
It's a vibe.
You felt that bad vibe because they spirit off, honey.
Yeah.
And your spirit knew, hey, move around. That ain't what you want to do. Or vice versa. When you recognize a kindred spirit, a kind spirit, a good person, genuinely a good person, your spirit man will let you know that too. We call it everything, but what it is the spirit man.
Yeah. And understanding that we really have to look at these things in relationships for a longevity. You know what I mean? I think we've gotten so caught up into, that 5 minutes of feel good, but it's costing people a lifetime of damage. You know what I mean? A lifetime of just discord and confusion, and everybody's discombobulated now because it's just like, again, what is my place? What is my position? You know what I'm saying? And Russell said, as a pastor, did you not say, pastor?
Yeah.
You said that. Okay.
Yes.
He said, as a pastor, I've gone through this with many couples, and I've learned one beautiful thing is that no matter who is in the relationship, we both have to put in, come on, Jesus.
Come on, Pastor. Let's say that.
Man said we got to both put in 110% in the relationship for anything to work, for anything to be real, for anything. It's not 50-50, people. It's not 80-20. You understand?
Yes,
It is
ma'am.
100 and Pastor said it's 110 and 110. So that's 220. We gotta get but we absolutely, come on, it's 100. You know what I'm saying? There are times we're being practical and in reality. When life hit, you can't give 100. I might be at 20 today. You understand? But baby, I can't be at 20 every day. Now I can't be at 10 every day. No. When you can give your 100, give your 100. And there are times in relationships where you're gonna have to take turns. Taking turns, baby, you down today, you sick, my husband's sick. I got trash. I can do that. I got you. You sick, I'm gonna go mow the lawn. I can do that. But is let me get real good and country for y'all. Is I'm gonna do that every day? No, sir, Reby. Period. Just not gonna do it. Because I'm not a single wife. You understand? I got a whole big old husky man. I don't know if y'all seen my husband, but I got a big old husky man. Not mowing the lawn, and I'm not taking the trash out every day. But when you're sick and when you're down and out and you can't, I got you, boo. Only when you at 10 and 20 for a minute. But I need to see that 100. Because I'm going to give you 100. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to give my family 100. I'm going to give my daughters 100% of everything, every woman I want them to be. I'm going to give them 100. I'm going to give my sons 100. I'm going to give my granddaughters and grandsons 100. That's in any relationship. We out here lazy, bumming it. And somebody then saw you stay at 10 for too long, the 30-year-old son at home. He's like, Mom, everybody's doing it. No, we're not. That's just your people. My people was at 10 for 10 minutes and they're back at 100. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's happening. We have to make sure that they see us at our best. And our best is in seeing this is how it goes. I commend all of the strong women and men out there. It would be easy and I remember hearing my husband say this. All he's ever seen was his mother work, his aunts work. That's all he's ever seen was women working. What if he turned out to be the kind of man that felt like it was a woman's job to work and provide and protect? You understand what I'm saying? Because that's all he's ever seen. That's what's happening to those whose minds are not strong enough, who are not, as Pastor Russell said, who are not biblically sound and educated enough on the word to know their positions and their place. Yes, you do have a place. It's not a bad thing. But let me tell you something. My immature me, put me in my place. What? We're not doing that, Boo Boo Kitty. No, we're not.
Or either
Don't nobody tell me what to do, but
who are you
the devil
talking
is
to?
on. Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
That was a curse. Listen, you cuss me out if you told me get in my place. I ain't even laughing. But on today, sir, ma'am, I get it. And I can sit here before y'all and say, I don't know my place. But will is there. Desire is there. I will learn my place. And I think that is a level of and oh yeah, that was the one right there. You ain't the boss.
You ain't the boss of me.
Yeah, you ain't the boss of me. Listen, you are not the boss of me. I did so good, and then the devil is trying to get busy, but that's all right. But that is literally like one of the things that I've learned, and that's my homework lately. You know, just really finding my place. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
And my place has to also be in alignment with my husband's place.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? We can't run your household, but we do know that if you need a new transmission put in your car, you're not going to the tire shop. You understand? So what we've got to go back to is the when there is something, when there's a malfunction, you got to go back to who created you, because he's the only one that knows exactly how you are supposed to function properly. You could definitely go to Meineke or somewhere and get your transmission fixed. Now, if it falls out down the road while driving, you know the difference.
Yes, ma'am. If it's still not operating,
You don't go to the tire shop
correctly, then you know.
So the point is that people, we got to be intentional about who we are, whose we are, and our purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it's not a competition between men and women who should do
not at all. Not at all.
This. You have to find that balance, excuse me, and that comfort level in your life, in your home. But I definitely believe that where we are weak, God will make us strong. And I would like to see some weightlifters come up out of this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've been stagnant for too long. You know what I mean? Because we can carry it all. Because we can be pregnant and work. We can literally go work 2-3 jobs, come home, clock in, clock out, clock in, make sure you straight, they straight, everybody straight, just because we can. Men, hear me, doesn't mean that we should be allowed to. I'm calling on the weightlifters. That in itself, just sit with that. The weights lifters. Because we tired. Those of us that have been doing it far too long, being the father, being the mother, being all of these things. And as a Black woman, I can tell you, we've carried a lot of weight for a long time. And it just saddens me to see that it's becoming a norm. Like it's literally becoming normal the sons don't see the mothers tired, wore down, and decide to, and again, I'm not personalizing this, but it's I've seen it, I've witnessed it, it's in my circle. You know what I mean? They don't say, "Ma, you shouldn't have to go," you know what I mean? Work in a hot factory with no air or no what, mama. You understand? It's my turn. Dad, you know what I mean? Your heart ain't right. You're this, you're that. Like, I got you. It's like the seasons are not shifting and changing smoothly. And that's what's bothering me, and that's what called me to, this topic tonight. Do you really know your place?
And
Huh?
yeah, and Mr. Russell said, somebody, that's why it is said in the Bible, train a child in the church, let that child go into the world, that the child will return back unto the Father, unto his Son, unto the Holy Spirit.
Russell, so Corey and I literally just watched, y'all, I am turned into a whole PureFlix binge watcher. It's just so good for my soul. I can't deal with all
Now,
this.
I'm getting ready, since you mentioned it, I'm getting ready. I wasn't sure, but I'm getting ready to get it now because I'm like,
Oh, you can get it through Amazon TV.
okay.
But we were just watching the Confessions of the Prodigal Son,
Mhm.
and it just gave me so much life. And that's something that, of course, we know the prodigal son is not just our males. I have daughters. I've seen the
Prodigal
prodigal
daughters.
son and my daughters, the prodigal daughters. I've seen it. Excuse me. You've got to be okay with, you really got to be okay with trusting the process in that. That's what that is. It's a process that took place with us, that took place with you, that took place with you. It's a process. And it does not feel good.
Not at all.
They on the Confessions of the Prodigal Son, he was literally the dad was a pastor. And he finally, we smile and grin through so much. Listen, Jesus. But God, we smile and grin through so much. And he couldn't do it on this particular day. Said, listen, I had a word for you. I was prepared to teach you and tell you about the goodness of God, but I'm sad on today because of my son. And I'm going to try not to tell y'all the story, but I'm horrible at that. So anyway, at not telling you, because I'll tell you the whole story, but I'm going to try not to and end it there. But Russell, you're absolutely right. That is what it is, and that is the process. We have to release and let them go, and I have my own personal prodigal son, and when I tell you, I'm at the process where he's ready to come home all on his own. No, nothing, no interference with me. I had to go through the process of just praying and trusting God, and I had to start praying the prayer that God, when you're ready for him to come home, you know what I mean? Not when I'm ready. When you've done everything you need to do with him, because you do know when you've raised them right, you've given them the proper tools, but they still have to go out in the world. They still have to go. They have their own journey that, in the words of Simply Lorraine, has absolutely nothing to do with you. Sometimes they have to go and live and experience. And this particular one, when I tell you he's been so amazing, I understand the attack on his life from the time he was born. I mean, like Obama type of amazing. Obama's dope, but he's amazing. He's spiritually amazing. And I understood the attacks on his life. But I still had an obligation. I had a job. I had an assignment to still teach him the right way, still guide him, and put him before great men that would teach him all of the tools that we're talking about tonight. And so that whenever although he strayed, he's able to come back to a solid foundation of knowing who he is and what he has originally been designed and called to do as a man. Has he been operating in it? Absolutely not. But does he know better? That's the difference. He knows better. And so the straying, I expected. The attacks, I expected. But I'm so looking forward to him coming back. I'm excited about that. Because I know how amazing he
Yes,
is.
ma'am.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Giving them the proper tools, giving our males, our young lives, the a fighting chance. And that fighting chance is your daughter's not being okay going half on a baby. You understand? Your son's not being okay leaving their children at home to go on rewind and repeat, not being okay seeing their children's mothers, their girlfriends, their wives, whoever, I mean, weighed down with all the pressure and the stress of trying to make sure their family is good, and he's able to turn over and snore and sleep good at night. That's a problem, and we have got to solve it. Russell made another comment. He said, "You ain't the boss." I'm still at the "you ain't the boss of me." No, Russell.
In the midst of any storm, there are blessings in the storm. Storms come to build us, to tear us down, to so that we can rebuild. But the blessing and the storm is that we're not stuck in the storm, but we learn who God is in our lives during the storm. We have to hope and keep the faith that God's will be done in each of our lives, no matter what we go through. He says, I would never forsake you nor leave you. Amen.
Amen. And that's
Amen.
the thing. We will. Shifts happen. Change happen. Um, and we're in a we talked about change on the last show, and just adjusting to the change. And I think a lot of times, I just had this. I've been going through this with one of my daughters in love,
Mm-hmm.
and bless her heart, the desire is there, the will is there, um, and and she's afraid to outgrow her family. She's afraid to be the first one to break generational curses. She's afraid. You understand what I'm saying? But the will is there. And so it's one of those things where yeah, Russell. Yeah. The storms come, but again, even in the storm, I always say that that's where your blessing is found.
Mm-hmm.
People want to wait till the sun come out, but your blessing is found right there. And I just pray that we all can go through it. This was not supposed to be, and it ain't, a Bible study session. But
Hey, it
listen,
went where it went.
you took the words right out my mouth.
It went where it went.
It went where it went, and at the end of the day, the root of it all, you know what I'm saying? In order to be able to find any kind of balance, in order for us to be able to really truly know what our purpose is and be able to live out our purpose. I don't know about nobody else. I'm not here for the accolades. I'm not here for the, oh, she owns businesses and has a talk show and then da 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 da. I am here to serve my purpose. And none of this may not be part of my purpose. You understand? It's not the titles. You know, she's a wife. That's a
I'm
title.
so glad you just said that because, baby, listen, it ties right back into our topic. Now, it's saying not knowing your place. A lot of time we have these titles, but what does a
Yeah.
title mean if you're not operating in the obligations of the title?
Hey, girl, go on. Leave me alone. Keep talking. Keep
For
talking.
real. Like mom, dad, sister, brother. I mean, whether it's a job title, it does not matter. There is prerequisites that come with your title,
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah,
who
yeah,
you're
yeah,
meant
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah.
There are things that come with that title, baby.
Thank
It
you.
ain't just being called whatever. It is things that come with that title.
It is. It is. Thank you. And it's called obligations. Like
Yes.
Russell said, responsibilities,
Yes.
obligations. And you
Yes.
have so many people and for instance, you know, mothers. We'll say that. We'll say mothers. You want all this respect, but at the end of the day, have you held up your end of the bargain and being, you know what I'm saying, a mother? You understand? Did you send? Okay, I'm shut up. Shut up.
Jesus. Get snatched.
He yoked me up right now. Look, I'm like, yeah.
But baby, listen, I'm glad you said that too, because I'm telling you, you already know. We talked earlier today, and when we talk about the foundation and we talk about mothers, fathers, families, and when I think about, because Ephesians 6 is one of my favorite chapters when it talks about the full armor of God, but I love in the beginning where it talks about the scripture and it says, honor thy mother and thy father. But if you keep reading that thing, baby, and it says father, but that still goes for any parent because they're blessed and we are a steward for the time being. So we are responsible for how we deal with God's child. Again, they yours, but remember, they belong to him. So you got to answer for how you treat them. It
Absolutely.
also says, fathers, don't provoke your children to anger.
What it say?
Don't provoke
What it said.
anger.
Well,
But
I thank God for my mother.
I'm gonna go there. I'm sorry, we already went there.
Thank
I'm gonna
God
go
for
there.
my mother.
But I love when it says it's in the bottom and it just really explains the job of a parent. And it says the father is the parent responsible, and I'm gonna say mother as well, because there are single households. For setting a power for the child's obedience, a pattern for the child's obedience in the family. The father's responsibility is to set forth two ways. First, what the father is not to do.
Hey.
Not provoke your children to anger. He is not to over discipline them. Rule the house in such a way the child can only react in rage.
Ooh.
So we're responsible. Second, what the father is to do, bring them up in a discipline and instruction of the Lord. Bring them up bringing them up involves three ideas. It is a continuous job. As long as the child is dependent on the father, is responsible for providing for the child so that it becomes what God wants him to be. It's a
Mm.
loving job. To bring up means literally to nourish tenderly. Children should be objects of tender, loving care. It's a job involves nurture. The children need to be nurtured and physically and spiritually. He also needs corrective discipline that will be effective in bringing about obedience to the word of God.
And thank you for that. That's good, good stuff. But I wanna go back to something you said.
Uh-huh.
That's the whole point in this tonight. You
Yes.
said, I'ma say and mothers
And
because there are single mothers. We're talking about the order. You
yeah.
understand? He was talking about men, fathers. You understand?
Uh-huh.
He was talking about fathers because even in that text it says mother and father, fathers and mothers. Don't. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
that is the man's job. And again, we have what's for us is for us. But
Mhm.
again, the whole
But when I say
me,
reason I said mothers is because when we step into something out of order, that's why we have to deal. That's the way we got to deal with it till it puts it in order. So whether you're a single father, or whether you're a single mother, you have to be mindful that you're still dealing with God's children.
but if we understand as men, if men understand that it's out of order for a mother to have to do that, you
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? I'm hoping that they may be a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Um, they may be a little bit more conscious about not being so quick to chuck up the deuces. You
Oh
understand?
yeah. Oh
Your
yeah.
mama got you. Your mama got you. No, you understand? No, because there is some things that mama is supposed to have us all on, but then
Yeah.
there are certain things that your father is
Yes,
supposed
ma'am.
to have you on. It's a reason that it's written. It's a reason that it's put, you know what I mean, in order. It is a reason.
Yes, ma'am.
Gotta stop normalizing things that was not designed to be that way. We will never fully properly function as one body until we understand that. And listen,
I also have to give kudos to the next generation. We saying I don't. I mean, we just talking about. There's a lot of them out here that have not had children for that purpose.
true.
It's a lot of them that haven't stepped into the realm of being a parent. Also, by watching some of the things their parents went through.
Hmm. And Russell, I agree with you. I agree with you, and I think that is key. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And he was just saying absence. It's the best policy until you find your helpmate. Until a true helpmate in Jesus Christ. Wait on the Lord. Period. He is the matchmaker. Um, and I think again, I'm just gonna say, I think a lot of us, we have found ourselves not waiting on the Lord. We don't wait on him. We're gonna go around this thing, and Lord, people want to take stuff. Listen, Russell, they want to take stuff out of content, when it's convenient, and be like, well,
Yeah.
God did say if you take one step, I take two. If you that ain't what he's
Don't
talking
put that
about.
on God. Don't do that.
You know
Don't
how
put
people
that on
want to
him.
take stuff and run with it. We're not
Yeah.
doing that. Listen, be still and know, okay? He got you. He got us. And we got to get ready to wrap it up. But mind your business, people. Um, Even in marriage, I have my business, and then there's Corey's business, and then there's our business, we got a lot of business come to think about it, because then there's Corey and God's business, and then there's me and God's business, and then there's me and Corey and God's business. So we have a lot of business going on, but know your place. That's what I'm saying. You got to know your place at the end of the day.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
absolutely enjoyed this conversation.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you guys for watching. Y'all, it's been such a blessing to be able to come here and chop it up with y'all on so many different levels. We try to have fun, you know what I mean, but we really try to keep it real. We really want to be able to give you, thank you, Mama, I love
Yes,
you.
thank you, Anita.
And we praying for your healing, speedy
Yes,
recovery.
ma'am.
No, it's not COVID, but you gotta put the disclaimer out nowadays. No.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
Thank you so much for watching. And just being able to share your wisdom with us. We love you. We will be back here next Saturday. God willing. And what they say, if the sun don't set and the creek don't rise, help me, Mama, with that. How'd that go? Something like that. If the sun don't set and the creek don't rise, we'll be back.
Yes, ma'am.
But this was a wonderful, beautiful conversation, and it was very insightful for me. Russell, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
A blessing for us tonight. And again, when I tell you guys, this was something I needed, because I truly want to know my place. And men and women, we have to be humble enough to know when you don't know something. It's all right. As long as I'm living, my granny would say, I am constantly learning. I want to be learning. The day I stop learning is when you can put me in the well, put me in a glass box if y'all don't mind. But anyway, disclaimer. Can you put me in a glass box?
Have mercy.
Freeze me. Don't put me in the ground. I'm just playing. But anyway, so we're still learning. And that's all right. We don't know everything. I don't know everything. We're not on here as experts. We're just on here chopping it up. It's a lot of stuff we could be doing on is today Friday?
Saturday
night. Help me, Jesus. On a
it's all right.
Saturday night. It's a Saturday night getaway. It's a lot of stuff we could be doing. You could be doing. We could be out here in the club. We could be, just doing all kind of foolish stuff. But we'd rather be sitting here just having a conversation, honestly, about what really happens and what's going on in the family dynamics. And as the wonderful, great mind, Jihad Yusuf says, solving problems with you guys. So that's what we're here for. I don't know what next week's topic is going to be. We're just going to let the Lord use us. Okay. But we'll be back. Russell, thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you, everybody, so much.
God bless. We got to go home. Of course, to my freshman in college, Brandon, my poo. I'm going to send y'all out with his song. It's everything to me, just because when you raise them right, listen, now this one, he on to something. This young man is on to something. God did that. I told you I had to have a whole color purple moment. The moment when she was in the store, they took her baby, and then she was in the store, and she was looking at him, and then she was like, I think he mine. His eyes say he mine. That's how I feel about Brandon. I'm like,
you are too much.
I think he mine. So anyhow, enjoy the song, the video, of course. Brand blessed us with. Y'all ain't gotta go home, but we home and we finna go to bed. I'm tired, boss. Love y'all. Good night, and thank you guys so much for being here. Bye.
It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end.
She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray, right before I eat and right before I lay. Don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike and just do it. Anything I wanna do, I know my mama, she gon' ride. Yeah. She say never fear no men, only fear God. Yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray, right before I eat and right before I lay. Don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike and just do it. Anything I wanna do, I know my mama, she gon' ride. Yeah. She say never fear no men, only fear God. Yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray, right before I eat and right before I lay. Don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike and just do it. Anything I wanna do, I know my mama, she gon' ride. Yeah. She say never fear no men, only fear God. Yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end.